In this video, I want to talk about another conflicting secret to success. I have a series I do on my YouTube channel, and it's called Contradictory Success Advice. And in this series, I talk about popular, though conflicting, contradictory success principles. I've talked about a lot of popular ones, and today we're going to be talking about whether kindness and friendliness are the secret to success, or is sometimes being mean and rude or less than ideal in terms of friendliness is the secret to success. We have different experts and gurus on both sides of thought on this, and let's have a discussion, and I'll try and see if I can reconcile or kind of analyze what's going on and come to some type of conclusion here. So on one camp, you have people like the famed entrepreneur Gary Vaynerchuk saying that kindness is the answer. In the long run, kindness wins. When you're doing something out of kindness without any expectation of someone, you reap the money, the respect, the prestige, the relationships that you want. Now, on the other camp, you have people like that I've studied in detail, like Steve Jobs and Michael Jordan. And when you look at their lives, when you look at the documentaries about them, you realize, okay, they were not friendly people often. And sometimes they were far from friendly because they had these high standards, and they wanted to achieve these amazing goals, which meant that they sometimes had to be a little rough, and some people didn't like them because of it. So then what's the answer? Which way is right? Are you mean? Are you not mean? Well, first off, I will have to say it really sucks when someone is needlessly rude or mean to you. It rubs me the wrong way, and I don't want to really be around them or be their long-term friend. And that can lead to, missed career opportunities. I'm not going to really be recommending this person or writing any letters of recommendation for this person or really going out of my way to help them, even if they ask sometimes. I've met some of these people in my life, and some of them are just kind of blind to it. They're just naturally kind of rough around the edges, and they just say things that come to mind, and it's rude, it's mean, it's selfish, and they don't even realize it, or they do and they don't care. I remember this one time, this person, I was trying to order some food, and I was trying to figure out this question, and it was just a bad scene. She was just like, I don't care. I really don't care. Just order. And it really sucked because this was someone that I had to work with. And that was a little notch in my head against them. So I could definitely see the benefits to being kind. You definitely win a lot more people. Kind people probably have more friends, and they probably get a lot of joy from helping people. Now, you also have to define the difference between kindness and fake kindness, where you're expecting something in return. That's something that I'm sure Gary Vaynerchuk and even people in the relationships and dating field, like Dr. Robert Glover of No More Mr. Nice Guy, would really emphasize here. So people mistake kindness for manipulation and trickery and doing something just to get something back in return. And that's not really true kindness. And so what I've learned is that the nice guy or the being nice can be very toxic and manipulative when you are, only doing it to kind of get something back from them at some point, or you're being nice for your own reasons, not out of true kindness, or even you're being nice because you want everyone to like you, and that makes you feel better, and it's not about them, it's about you. So that's something to keep in mind. So in terms of true kindness, what Gary Vaynerchuk's talking about, I can definitely see the benefits. But I think maybe it also depends on your profession. When you're at these high pressure, high stakes types of things, like basketball finals with Michael Jordan, or becoming the top tech company in the world with Apple, of course, there's a lot of stress and pressure. And of course, you don't have time to be all nice and friendly. You have to be rough around the edges. You have to call someone out if they're not living up to your standards and practicing and working hard to make it happen. So I can see why sometimes you can't be nice. Now, I think ultimately for me, I can't give you any 100% guaranteed conclusions from this, but what I can say is that, there are moments where uh, I will be kind because I think that's the best approach. And there are moments where, maybe the kindness is less deserved because they're being repeatedly disrespectful or negligent. And that's when you have to kind of put that aside. Or because, you know, you're strapped for time. And maybe strapped for time is not the best reason to do that. But there are other times when you can't always be the most kind, friendly person in the world. Um, and I think if not kind, I think I will at least be neutral at sometimes. Not overly friendly, but not overly nice. And it's not just those times when I feel like I'm in danger or I don't know some stranger, although those may apply. I'm more so talking about those times when um, you just are doing it for the right reasons rather than wrong reasons, where you're not trying to get everyone to like you. I think that's the real issue here. When Ray Dalio, hedge fund manager, billionaire, author of Principles, studied a bunch of successful people, he found out that most of them are really good and okay with a portion of people disliking them. That's part of the game. That's part of the process. It happens. People will not like you for whatever reason, sometimes ridiculous, random reasons. So ultimately, um, I'm working on that. I have been for years, and maybe you should too. But you have to be uh, able to be okay with others not liking you. And that doesn't even have to go into being rude to them or negligent or mean. You can be neutral to them or even nice, and they still might not like you. And that's what I think you have to be okay with. And maybe Michael Jordan was kind of friendly at certain times or neutral, um, but people still didn't like him. And sometimes you have to be indifferent about that. Steve Jobs didn't like it when others didn't like him. It wasn't like he enjoyed it. He just was indifferent to it because that's part of the game. That's part of the process. So that's what I need to work on because not everyone's going to like you. And it's just what it is. Some people, it's their own fault. They're quick to judge. Other times, maybe it is your fault, but you don't get the chance to explain yourself, or the moment's passed and they're gone from your life. You can't really, over dwell on that. So, long story short, can't really come to any conclusions per se, but I do believe there's some moments for sure where, of course, be friendly. I'm always friendly, and I need to kind of work on the other part of it, which is there are parts where you just got to be neutral and you got to adjust your beliefs and mindsets so that you're not expecting anything out of someone when you're being kind. You're doing kindness for the right reasons, and there are times when maybe you should just be neutral and not be the most friendly person in the world because as seen by Michael Jordan and Apple and Steve Jobs, sometimes you need to kind of push the envelope, especially if you're shooting for the stars.